Hey everyone, Jim here. I'm just about to edit this week's video. But before that, if you haven't heard yet, Typhoon Odette has hit the Philippines and has severely affected a lot of people and families and places. So before we get into this video, I just wanna ask for your support. I'm going to leave a link in the description to direct you to certain efforts that are geared towards helping the victims of the recent calamity. This video is about giving gifts. This video is about the spirit of Christmas, and I think more than anyone, these people who were ravaged by this unfortunate event deserve and should feel the most warmth, especially at this time of the year. If you stop at this point and donate money or send goods or coordinate with these people, you can stop right here. You don't even need to watch the video. Let's, in our own way, however big or small, let's please help these people out because these are tough times and now it's even tougher times for them. That's it. If you do continue, welcome, enjoy the video. If not, please send your prayers, your well wishes, and whatever effort that you can for these families. By the time I'm recording this video, there are exactly 8 days before Christmas. By the time you see this video, there will be 7, maybe 6, depends on when I upload it. In any case, wherever you are in this world right now, happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
good tidings to you. Today I'd like to share with you some of the presents that I received. If you've noticed, we are in a different location, so I am officially on staycation for today and half of tomorrow. I just needed to get away from the house to breathe and see other things and breathe in a different kind of air, although arguably worse air. And I'm in an Airbnb in an undisclosed location where I had a gift exchange, and I'd like to share with you some of the things that I got. Number one is this camera bag for that camera over there. Nothing schmancy. And you have the kind of logo over here. You can't see it. Autofocus, and just a lot of nooks and pockets and crannies for all your storage needs. Oops, you can't see that over there. Alright, and we got bed sheets. You know that you're adulting when people start giving you bed sheets for Christmas. It starts with socks and then it turns into bed sheets. And finally, a beautiful, beautiful pair of shoes. Now, of course, receiving all these gifts, it made me think, okay, what are the gifts that I'm going to give to my family and friends? And it was honestly a struggle thinking of what to give to them, just because, especially in the Philippines where we've been in the pandemic and basically on lockdown for 2 years. Online shopping has become a part of our life, so much so that at least in our household, there was a time where literally every single day a package will come. And if a package isn't there, one of us in the household is waiting for one. And so I think it has come to a point where we can confidently say, for the first time in human history, we may have all the things, all the material things that we wanted. Obviously, not for all of us, and obviously that's not true. But with the way that online shopping has become our coping mechanism during the pandemic, houses are full of packaging and all the goods that we bought. And so, perhaps giving presents for Christmas may be a little complicated this year, even more than last year. And today I'd like to give you 4 suggestions on non-material things that you can give for Christmas this year. Number 1, consider sharing the gift of education. And that is, if you have a skill, whether it be yoga or the graphic arts, the visual arts, performing arts, business, finance, anything, any skill that you have, do consider running a class or recording a video on how to, or even just basic things like how to sew, how to crochet, how to tie this kind of knot, and share that to people. I think one of the things that has kept people engaged, especially people who work during the pandemic, aside from Netflix and all that, are the consistent learning opportunities being presented to them by their managers and the different companies. And I think that as we stay at home more, although it's a little bit looser now with vaccinations going steadily well, get vaccinated but still wear your mask. So with that, learning has become an anchor or even an engagement tool for us to kind of step out from the confines of our room or our houses and explore the world, so to speak. So if you do have a skill that you're excellent at and it's something that you're comfortable sharing to the world, please do so and consider it's going to be free relatively. If anything, just consider it to be your practice and just sharpening your skills, which will benefit you and no one else anyway at the end of the day. Suggestion number 2, and something that I personally want to bring back. Do you remember the time when literally during the beginning of the pandemic, we had game nights and quiz nights and Among Us nights and trivia nights every single night? And gift number 2 is the gift of companionship. Whatever that would mean with COVID restrictions loosening up in the Philippines, maybe you'd like to pay a visit to your friend you haven't seen in 2 years or longer. It may not be a hug, may not be a fist bump. It could just be standing outside their gate and waving and dropping off cake. And yes, we've been doing that a lot, but I think with the COVID restrictions going down, there is more opportunity for us to go to farther places and to reach out to people that were harder to reach before. Again though, Omicron variant is still there. Please mask up, maintain your distance, and if you haven't been vaccinated, get vaccinated. Companionship, however, doesn't have to be in person all the time. I think it would be a nice gesture to bring back the fun quiz nights and the trivia nights that we have with our friends. And maybe let's amp it up a bit and take it a step further and invite the people that we don't usually invite. You know how you have your friends and then there are kinda outside circle that they're your friends but not the inner circle, but if you do invite them, they're not gonna be out of place kind of circle. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's identify those people and maybe ask them to come over. Companionship, I'm sure, in varying degrees has been affected for all of us because we've been stuck online, we've been stuck at home, or even when we're in person, we can't even hug the people that we want to, or we can't even shake their hands what we're confined to our elbow bumps or finger fives. Is that a word? In the spirit of the holidays, find time and effort to be a friend, be a son, be a daughter, be a father, be a mother, be a cousin, be a sibling to whoever, and spend some time with them in activities that are meaningful to you, or even just sitting down and having a conversation over life, or not having a conversation and just sitting down together. Companionship, especially at a time where loneliness has been very high and being alone, though not necessarily lonely, but being alone has also been very high. Knowing that there's someone out there is definitely something that's heartwarming. Number 3, something that I might need to work on is to reconcile or reconnect with people. One of the most difficult things from my experience during the pandemic are the miscommunications that can happen online, whether it be through live meetings or brief exchanges over social media or actual direct messages to each other. I've had a few scuffles over the past 2 years. And I think part of the trouble is that this is the pandemic, so everyone's just kind of stressed in general. Communications have been altered, but also I think we can kind of get away with the shield of the computer or your mobile phone, or basically the shield of not seeing that person. and can just get away with acting as if nothing happened. I think the holidays is the perfect time to reconcile, or if you feel like you've stepped on someone else's toes, if you feel like you've let someone down, confirm it. Now is the time to open up. Now is the time to say sorry. And connected to that, now is also the time to reconnect. I know that we give applause to people who are low maintenance, this people who we don't need to talk to constantly, but when we do, it's as if nothing has changed and you're still as close and you're still as chatty, etc., etc. Yes, they're there, and precisely because they're there, that we need to make an effort to reconnect. Having the blessing of people who are like that, who will continue to be available, who will continue to be open, who will continue to be accessible to you regardless of the time that has passed, regardless of the quality or the quantity of conversations that have ensued between the two of you, is a blessing. And so I think the holidays is a good time to reconnect with these people and just make them feel the gratitude for having them in our lives. Yes, they are low maintenance, but that does not mean that they deserve low quality friendships. Number 4, and probably the simplest, but can be the most impactful if done well, is to say thank you and express your gratitude to the different people, places, events, and things that kept you sane and alive for the past year or for the past 2 years. Whether it be your friends or your co-workers, wherever they may be, in whichever country, in whichever city, I'm sure that they have played a part in making your everydays a little bit better, a little bit spicier than normal. And also for the offline constants, a lot of us have moved back with their families or have gone back to our home cities so that we can save on expenses. And more often than not, this means reconnecting or living again with certain people, family, distant relatives, or childhood friends, etc. While the pandemic has encouraged and has brought people together physically, that doesn't necessarily translate into a social relationship. It's very possible that you live in the same house with the same people, but 90% of the day you're all in your rooms working, doing your own thing, and the only interactions you get is when you happen to cross each other in the dining room or on the way to the bathroom. These people, in their own way, are also your constants because they may be cooking for you, they may be cleaning the house, they may be doing the laundry, they're doing the background things. And I'm sure you're also doing some background things and you also deserve the gratitude. But the point here is the people offline also serve a role in building up a level of normality. Is that a word? A level of normalcy in your life. Saying thank you may sound cheesy, but here's my challenge for you and me for the holidays. If you plan to give the gift of gratitude this year, number 1, say thank you. Number 2, say what for. Be specific. Don't say things like, for being a good housemate. Why is he a good housemate? Why is she a good housemate? Does he cook for you? Does she cook for you? Does she pick up the trash whenever you leave them? Does he refill the water every time you leave it unrefilled? Be specific. Make that person know and recognize that you see him, you see her, and the efforts that they put in. Number 3, please share what impact those actions have on you. Why is your life better because of that? Why is your day better because of that? Oh, my day is better when you refill the water because, quite frankly, it's the chore that I hate doing the most, but you always end up doing it for me. Thank you. Because of that, my days have been brighter. Mean it. Let's carve out a space to create meaningful messages of gratitude to the people around us. And maybe, just maybe, we can help people feel the love and warmth of Christmas just a little bit. Just a small reminder that yes, Christmas is coming up, but this does not mean that the 4 gifts we talked about today are reserved only for the 25th. These are things and these are presents that we can give on a daily basis, and maybe by practicing it just a little bit more and being more deliberate about it, we build the habit of spreading the joy of Christmas no matter what month it is. Live audaciously and tirelessly chase the best version of yourself. It's not yet there, but this is Jem, and in advance, Merry Merry Christmas.